this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down. This is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down. This is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. house hill.
We welcome you to coverage of the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Oh, it's going to be a special time tonight. On the road to the All-Star race for the NASCAR Cup Series at North Wilkesboro tonight is our throwback scheme night for the Stars and Stripes Racing League. It is also the next round of the playoffs, and this is going to be an exciting one. 200 laps around North Wilkesboro Speedway. This is iRacing on LSRTV. We welcome you to coverage. I'm Wesley Outland, going alongside Charles Wood, producer and director. Charles, we like North Wilkesboro, man. This is going to be a fun race tonight, ain't it, brother?
No, I hate this track. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just want to be opposite. No, I actually like this track. I just really like the name. It's Wilkesboro. I mean, I don't know why. It just seems like a catchy name for a track. I don't know about the north part, but I like the name Wilkesboro. So yeah, it's going to be a fun race, and it's short track racing, so, you know, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's going to be fun. Let's take a look at the analysis for tonight's event. It's brought to you by Hunt the Front TV. Remember, they're in action this weekend at Ultimate Motorsports Park in Elkin, North Carolina, as well as Lancaster Motor Speedway in South Carolina this weekend. HuntTheFront.tv. No fast repair, 100% fuel capacity, 4 sets of tires for this series, 200 laps the distance, and of course, the North Wilkesboro Speedway measures at 5/8 of a mile. There will be one attempt only at overtime. That's it, Charles. That's it. One attempt only.
You know, honestly, I like just the one attempt. I think it's the best way to do it. You know, there's been leagues where they give unlimited attempts, and I'm not a fan of that. You know, you got one attempt to straighten up or it's over. And I really like that, you know, in these leagues.
Look at all these beautiful looking cars on the pit lane, and obviously, as you can tell, it is throwback night, so a lot of these drivers are donning throwback colors. By the way, Charles, if you can update SDK, it's not on, by the way, for timing and scoring. So, with that being said, we'll get everybody in place in just a moment to get ready to qualify. And
I will say,
racing here.
It does help timing and scoring if you actually have it turned on at all. We didn't have it turned on, so
I didn't have a track map. I didn't have anything. I was like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Well, the track vanished. There we go. But you know, it didn't vanish. I know you're gonna want it.
Kaufman creative weather conditions, and there you see it, triple digit and 6 degrees. Man, it's going to be a crazy one here, no doubt, on the racetrack. Because right now the cars are on the racetrack and they're qualifying. And the next round, again, we're glad you're here for this series. And again, tonight, this is the Stars and Stripes Racing League and North Wilkesboro. Here's Kyle McCoy, and he has a pretty cool paint scheme right there on that, obviously, number 7 machine. That's the driver out of Iowa, the Iowa State Celsius Chevrolet. And remember, Charles, he said last week he had a special paint because it goes around. Oh!
That is not the way you want to do it, but yeah, I'm digging the paint job, and this here is a...
Lester and Stewie, I think, on the car?
I believe it was. Unfortunately, our camera operator doesn't have a zoom camera tonight. I'm not sure why, but we'll address that going forward. But this throwback scheme is a throwback to last week.
Yeah, that's just the regular wrap job on that car. So, nice way of saying that, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, he's throwing it back to next last week. But, yeah, we'll see how Ross Tatum does. Currently sitting in the second spot, and he's not going to improve on that. And, yeah, this is cool. We get to go back this and look at some of these throwback paint jobs. And I'm not sure what that one throws back to.
Well, this is a throwback to Herbie the Love Bug. If you remember Herbie the race car back in the day, and obviously back in the day in the NASCAR world, they used to put the cubic inches on the horsepower for the engines.
Okay, I do remember Herbie the Love Bug.
Race car. Yeah. And it's Josh Whitaker on the racetrack right now. That beautiful looking machine. Boy, we're going to have to pack a big lunch because, obviously we got to try to keep track of what number is what number, and wrap design is totally different than what we usually see them race on with their colors.
Yeah, we got the Micro Center number 30 of Joshua Robinson. Nothing fancy there. Does that say Dude Wipes, I believe, on that one? So not a throwback on that one, unfortunately. But there are quite a few, and no throwback here either. We got the Kentucky University and Babe Ruth candy, which, not a fan of Kentucky University, but I do indeed like a Babe Ruth candy bar. So we'll be cheering for him tonight.
Yeah, no change in those colors of Joshua Robinson or Zach Kreitz. Those car numbers and wrap, just they all look the same for sure. So for sure, yeah, watching all these qualify and ready to see how it all shakes down as we are ready to go here, by the way, for the next round. Oh, we're not done just yet. I thought we were done, but we're not.
Yeah, I got a few more people ready to go. Joshua Robinson trying to go.
And
Thomas Ogle
around. Yeah, Thomas Ogle, the old 200 throwback night. This is our all-star night, if you will. The thing is, though, Charles, it's not an all-star night. It is. We watch Robinson qualify. This is the points race. This is the second round of the playoffs, too.
Yeah, it is, and it's a very short playoffs, but it is a playoffs. So looking forward to see how it all plays out. When it all said and done, I know I was talking to Ross or Tatum earlier, and he was like, "Man, I'm doing good, but I wish I would have pushed a little bit harder to be higher up in the playoffs going into it." But it's not over till the fat lady sings, and she ain't sung yet.
Joshua Robinson on the racetrack qualifying. There you see him in that Chevrolet number 30. Micro Center on the sponsor of that car. That is about to run the clock out. I don't think he'll make it in time time has expired. Well, I guess he'll have to start shotgun, or at least his first lap will be his best time lap, Abram. All right. Field is gridding. By the way, qualifying presented by Verizon 5G Network for the Stars and Stripes Racing League. All night of the old school 200. And let's get the field gridded here and give you lineup. Even though he's stunned, Charles, he's still on the pole. McCoy is outside Virginia's Ross in that Topo Chico entry. Row 2, Will Bustler, Dylan Grimm. Row number 3, I'll find a couple of Chevrolet Grattan as well as Robinson. Row 4, Kyle Bowling, Christian Loschen, Christopher Smith, and Dylan Glass make up the first 5 rows of the top 10.
Yeah, behind them in row number 6, going to be Scott Rickard in the 05 and the 51 of Tom Wizza. Row number 7, going to be the 17 of William Duff. And the 25, your clone lookalike, Nate Lynch. In the number.
You always say that. I don't get it.
He looks just like you, in my opinion. Maybe a little more beard. In row 8 is going to be the 5 of Trey Jackson. And the 28 of Josh Whitaker. In row 9 is going to be the 11 of Tom Ogle. And the 46 of Zach Kreitz. Row 10 going to be the 91 of Zachary Smith. And Aaron Hale in the 4. And there's only 2 more drivers, and that's row 11. The number 10 of Mark Schrader. And the 13 of Mark Fish.
Charles, if you could for just I got a phone call. It's probably about the weather for the races this weekend. Okay, I'll be right back, man.
Oh, you're letting the producer run this solo? You are a brave man.
I am. I'll be right back. Hello.
All right, well, there you have it. He's got to answer the phone real quick. As we've always said here at LSRTV, real life does come first. That's just the way it's got to be sometimes. He's got to check in on the weather and see how it goes for the real job as we take the yellow. We're going to pace around for 2 laps. And everyone that knows iRacing knows if it is a short track like this, less than a mile and a half, we go 2 laps. Anything bigger, we go 1 lap. So it'll take 2 laps around unless they do decide to shorten it, which they probably will not. Going to get those tires clean if you're Will Bustler in that number 1 machine. But let us know, who are you rooting for? I know we got some Kreitz and Grattan friends. They're Grattan. He probably is great, but it's Grattan and Kreitz fans out there cheering them on here as we're going to take 1 more lap around. Again, let us know where you at, who you cheering for, and we'll make sure to give them some love here tonight on the broadcast. Throwback night here for Stars and Stripes Racing League, as we are just moments away from taking the green flag. Let's see who's going to come out victorious in 200 laps here momentarily. Pace car will dive off, and green flag is officially in the air for lap 1 of 200, and it's going to be a Tatum that takes the lead on the outside, but he's going to hang on to it. He ain't going to hold on to it for long, though, as here comes McCoy. McCoy looking hungry for a win here tonight, side by side. Early on in this race, how long will it last will be the question, as they're going to single file out, and that's what we're wondering here. I'm sure Wesley will comment on it when he's back from checking on his job for tomorrow, is how long will these guys go double file? They're still doing it about 10th on back. As you see the 05 and the 24, Rickard and Glass in the 16, they're getting there as well. Those guys still side by side, a little ahead of them, side by side with Bowling, Graham, Lawson as well, but these guys cannot maintain this too wide for very long. It will eat away at your tires, and they will have to get single file, and that's probably what we're going to see here. A little bit of calm racing, if you would, for the first 150 laps, 100 laps, and then we'll see these guys really go. We didn't get a fuel mileage, so we're not sure on that. If we get a chance, we'll definitely chat with them during a caution and see what the fuel mileage is looking like. But I would imagine we're going to get a lot of laps under 1 tank of fuel. Yeah, right now we are watching the best battle on track. There's still a little bit of battle going on for the lead. We'll keep an eye on that here momentarily. But you're looking at the 44, the 5 going in on this one, the 81, and the 16. That is Glass, Smith, Rickard, and Bowling. Best one out. Caution's out on the track, and it is going to be for William Duff in the number 17. We'll take a look and see what happened to William Duff to bring out the first caution of the night. We'll go back here. We apologize for the ATVO replay. It's not triggering the right replay for us. We are actively working on that to get it all figured out. And we'll see. Got the just loose. We got the 20 going loose as well. That did not bring out the caution. He was off the racing surface down in the grass by the guardrail. And there you go, the 17 coming off the corner of turn 4, spins it around, hits the inside wall. That'll bring out caution number 1. We saw that a lot in practice, even in qualifying, where these guys were just getting loose off the corners. I'm not sure what was causing it, but again, they were getting loose off the corners, spinning out. And it happens once again to bring out caution number 1 for the 17 of William Duff.
Hey, buddy, I'm back. Well, the good
How's
news
the
or
weather?
the bad news?
Let's start with the bad news.
The bad news is I'm going to have to drive about 130 miles after the race tonight to Jamaica, Virginia.
We're going to Jamaica? No, we going to Jamaica. We going to Jamaica. Oh.
Yeah.
We're going to Jamaica.
Well, I thought we were going to get a hotel room in Elizabeth City at the beach, but unfortunately not the case. So the bad news is we're actually going to drive overnight after the race tomorrow to Virginia. The good news is the weather is improving. The race isn't this week, hopefully.
Well, if it is improving somewhere, it means it's getting worse somewhere else, and I'm imagining that's here. So, it's that old. I have a feeling where the weather gets better somewhere, it gets worse somewhere else. It's the I call it the Men in Black theory. If you ever watched the Men in Black movie with the guy with like the globe in his head or whatever, and he's like, "Where there's death, there must always be death." So, where there's bad weather, there must always be bad weather. So, somewhere there's got to be better.
Those are his words, audience, not mine. So. All right, let's get back to it here. Kyle McCoy obviously leading in the early going here. Lights off of the pace car. It looked like he got about a lap, and then we had a caution coming out. So get everybody bunched up 2 by 2. I love the cartoon characters on the 7 machine. The Celsius Live Fit number 7. I like that. I love it. Spinning tires. Tatum on the restart. Bustler behind him. Plenty of room to green. And look at McCoy on the restart. The number 7 machine. Side by side there for second. That's, of course, Dylan Grimm, Ross Tatum. Bustler watching on. Christian Lawson in the top 5. And we put another lap on the board. 10 in now. 11.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of cars getting loose out of the corners. We saw it. We saw it in practice. We saw it in the actual qualifying as well, and that was what brought out the caution. We actually had 2 incidents, Wesley, with the 17 and the 20. The 20 got loose. Unfortunately, his was more on the back stretch, and he got into the guardrail, and you can see how much grass is right there. So he got into the fence. Unfortunately, it was out of harm's way, so it didn't trigger the caution. Then the 17 came out of turn 4 right about here and spun it around as well. And that one did bring out the caution. So unfortunate for one. One got a little bit of a break. It did bring out the caution so he could regroup. But, this is one of those deals. Sometimes you bring out the caution, sometimes you don't.
Field thunders down the front straightaway, back into the corner. Into turn number 1 and 2. There's a battle there with Robinson. And obviously Scott Rickard. Rickard, the points leader, driving an orange car. Definitely different than what we see in the black colors, ain't it, Charles?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm going to go back here a little bit, trying to figure out who that one was that did spin. We got a little bit of a battle going on in the front. I believe that's Tom Wizzle. Yes, it is. Just so the people know I'm not crazy, he's listed as number 51 in scoring, but he is the 20 on screen. So, if we ever throw this up on the screen, it will say 51, but that was the 20. He spun right about here earlier. But was not able to bring out the caution, or didn't bring out the caution. So that's why I said the 20, even though it's the 51 on scoring. But yeah, it's just one of those deals. Unfortunate, but the battles are really starting to heat up front between the 30, the 05 going in there of Rickard. You've also got Robinson, Grattan, Smith in there. it is a, what is it you call it, a hornet's nest going on up front in the top 10.
Yeah, log jam of traffic if you're with all of this train. It's another lap on the board with Kyle McCoy, the man run. Look at that. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Open up the door just a moment ago for the 81. There you see Christopher Smith, Scott Rickard in the orange 05. Normally he's in the black Tire Pros machine. Behind them, Robinson, Tom qualifying. There's Grattan, of course, right behind him in the 42, and they're all right there nestled with one another down to the line. Another lap on.
Yeah, these guys, you know, they always put on a good battle, and they're doing that here. And, you know, you can always expect good battles when you come to a place like, you know, North Wilkesboro. The history this track has, and now it gets to make virtual history along with the real deal coming back. So a big shout out to everyone that was involved in getting it and then getting it on iRacing as well. So we're looking forward to many years of races here virtually, and a little bit of a battle going on. And we know we got some Grattan fans out there, Trey Jackson and Nate Lynch, as well as Grattan, all battling right now for 10th, 11th, 12th. These guys putting on a good show for you. Goes to show you, Wesley, just because you're not battling for the lead doesn't mean you're not putting on a good show for the fans.
That's exactly what a show he's putting on as well. As you see Grattan now going at it there with the 24. The colors of the Jeff Gordon machine. And that's, of course, is that Dylan? I'm going to say it is. So Dylan Glass is in the, yeah, there you see Whitaker. There you see Grattan. Some of these drivers have colors that are not matching their regular numbers that they use for the is basically like you mentioned with the other guy, like with Tom Wisdom in the 20 car, the Home Depot Tony Stewart car.
Yeah, you never know. You know, and it's not an everyday thing. It's not like we have to try to guess who's who. It's a throwback week, and we like throwback weeks, so they're always fun. You really get to see who's who and who they really like. You know, back in the day, you know, do they like a newer driver and they're throwing back to them? Or do they like someone like, you know, the 20 or the 51 machine who is currently scored in last place? Unfortunately, he's fallen back even more after that. But, you know, that is a way old school throwback to the number 20. Which is ironic, by the way, Wesley, because I was in Home Depot today looking for a microwave because mine blew up. So, you know, I didn't buy one there. I'm sorry, Home Depot, but I was looking, and so it's ironic that we see that. But
now, why did you not buy one there?
Well, you see, they didn't have any in stock, so I went there and I wanted a 2 cubic inch or feet or whatever it is, and they didn't have any in stock, so I ended up having to just get one from Best Buy, which worked out because I do have, you know, a premium membership with them where I get 2-day delivery. So it's just one of those deals.
It's just one of those days.
Yeah. Oh, we got the 11 going around. Is it going to bring out a caution is the question. Yes, caution will come out.
Second caution of the race, putting us under the yellow flag. There's Tom going around again on the 11 machine. That's about the second time we've seen that happen to him. It happened during qualifying as well. And the White Claw Chevrolet Camaro. Watch this. Scott Rickard up high. Gotta wonder if he had something to do with it, or maybe Robinson in 30. Survey says.
I'm thinking he just got loose. Yeah, he's already getting a little loose there.
Look at that, just lost it. Oh, what Rickard did to miss him. Robinson did to miss him as well.
Man, you know.
Well, that was a save, wasn't it?
It was, and I have a feeling that is going to be the trend here tonight is, you know, who can save their car the best when it's trying to spin out, because obviously these cars are extremely loose in a handful.
So caution out again here. Putting us under second caution of the race. Hey, by the way, though, is the Throwback 200 Throwback Night All-Star Race for the second round of the playoffs for the Stars and Stripes Racing League. It still is race summary, so let's go to the bottom left and check out your race summary. It's brought to you by Bridge 1-1 to you to dig with care. 2 cautions. Caution laps have been 6. No lead changes. And then Kyle McCoy in front since the drop of green flag. Quick break. We'll come back and get you ready for the restart as we still have a long way to go in the Throwback 200. This is iRacing on LSRTV from North Wilkesboro. Back here at North Wilkesboro, going back for the restart here, as with the Throwback Scheme 200, and you see McCoy on the restart, the Celsius Live Fit number 7 machine, doing well. He's got Tata behind him, Bustler as well. Sorry about that, Charles. I was at Dover earlier tonight. Dover, so yeah.
Well, you know, nothing wrong with Dover.
Where the hell I was.
I mean, both are short tracks, both are fun tracks, so, you know, yeah, we won't fault you for going back to Dover. You liked it.
Right.
But the battles are really heating up, and no surprise, this league usually puts on a really good show, and they're going to be 2 wide, 2 deep. After you get past the top 4 where they're single file, and I was talking about that a little while where you were trying to figure out what your plans for tomorrow were work-wise. Is how long are we going to see these guys go double file, or are they going to go single file and kind of try to pace this race out? Because really, we haven't seen anyone be aggressive. That's not the cautions we've seen. It's just been people getting loose and spinning out. So we're not seeing aggressiveness, just, you know, ill-handling cars. So these guys, you know, they're not pushing things right now. They're just kind of cruising.
Yeah, you're exactly right, as they work their way back across the start-finish line. And that's the smart thing, right? Well, I think that pace car is a little more poked out more than what it usually is, isn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of cautions, but it's not been a lot, for sure.
You know, the pace car likes to get involved in the race as well. Maybe it wants to come out here and race a little bit. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't. We don't want to see it out on track, as you know, the battling's really underway, as we're going to go 3 wide for a split second. The 81 of Christopher Smith. He's going to kind of lose a couple of spots, but he will, in the process, he can get 3 wide, and he's going to kind of gather it back up, and we go 2 wide back again. As you know, really the heart of these battles that's happening is right here between, you know, 5th, 6th to about 13th. That's where the battles are. The front 4 have really kind of checked out. Nothing going on up there. So that's where we're going to stay, as these guys, they're battling for a championship. And at the end of the day, every position counts.
That's exactly right. As they work the back stretch, back into the corner again. McCoy, the leader, up in front. He's got the top spot, if you will, the Pied Piper. Been such a strong machine, a strong ride, a strong car. It has been that way, it seems like, all season, especially during the bracket challenge on the road to the playoffs. And he's doing it yet again here, Charles. What a strong run. Obviously, you got to remember, there's a lot of hype into tonight's race, the all-star race, the throwback schemes, all of that, but it's a points race, and it is also a playoff race. All of these things have to be considered here.
Yeah, it's one of those days, races where, it's throwback. You want to have a cool looking car, but at the end of the day, you're right. It's a points race. It's all about finishing. It don't matter how good or ugly your car is if it doesn't perform, so they got to put a lot of time in getting these things set up so they can come out here and win this championship, because there's not a lot of time left in the overall grand scheme of things here for the championship. Looking at the schedule, we're obviously at North Wilkesboro. We have Auto Club, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. So, again, that's it. That is all that's left on the season, and we will crown a champion. And I do apologize, I forgot. This is a fixed setup, so, you have what you have. If it's a ill-handling, loose setup, that's just unfortunate. You've got to learn to drive with what you have. The good news is, Wesley, everybody's on the exact same setup.
Yeah. Yep, you're exactly right. Hey, by the way, we didn't mention the sponsors earlier. We need to thank them as well. The Stars and Stripes Racing League playoffs here in the Throwback Scheme 200 is presented by, from North Wilkesboro, Butt Kicker. Thank you also to the Next Level Racing. On the Throttle podcast, check out previous episodes on all major podcast platforms and outlets. And finally, Verizon, the nation's #1 5G network, and the title sponsor of pole qualifying. And just like that, a caution is out.
And it's the 81 of Christopher Smith bringing it out. I'll take a look and see what happened. I don't see anybody else around him. There is here, so was this a bump and run, hit and run? Or was it just a self-spin getting loose? We're about to find out, Wesley.
Caution out again for the 81. This is a driver, by the way, that didn't need to have this happen. He's second of the point standings. There's Whitaker behind him. Yeah, a little bump.
Just loose
again. Shades
again.
of what happened to the other guy, man. Shades of what happened to Tom Ogle, just basically losing it around the corner.
Yeah, they are definitely fighting a ill-handling car. Unfortunately, there's not a lot they can do, because it is a fixed setup. They're going to come down. We'll see if they take tires, because that is one thing they can do. They don't have a lot of sets either, Wesley, and we are just past a quarter of the way done with this race. So is this a time to take tires? If you take tires every 50 laps, could be a strategy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And obviously, what they say, you had 4 sets?
Yes, 4 sets of tires. So you take them at lap 50, 100s, 150, and, well, then you'd have a backup pair in the event of a late race caution or going into overtime. But, I've personally never been to this track. I would assume, based on the fact that it is an older track, it hasn't been repaved, it's more abrasive, so it's going to be rougher on tires. Do you want those sets of tires? You want to save them all for the end in the event of late race cautions, so you can get those tires, and if you get them, are you even going to be able to pass anyone once you get them?
Yeah, that's a very good point. A very good point to watch for sure. Yellow flag out. Again, there you see that 24 machine. And by the way, we did find out that the 24 is the driver of Dylan Glass, which I thought that. Remember, I said that earlier. Number 16 on time and scoring, but it is the 24. That's the Jeff Gordon throwback car. Remember the Flame number 24? That's the throwback car there. And he's doing well. Matter of fact, let's take a swing through while we're under caution and look at some of the 20-plus paint schemes.
Yeah, this.
And, if they are the regular driver's paint schemes, we'll skip you. Sorry, don't mean no hard feelings, but yeah. There's a 24. I like that one.
You got the 25 and Nate Lynch.
That's the regular paint. That's the regular paint scheme.
But you got the 28. He's got the love going with him.
Yes.
And I believe Aaron Hell in the 4 with the Camel.
Yeah, that's his regular car. That's his regular car. The Camel isn't in you.
It's still a good paint job. I like it though. But, just a normal paint job. The 91 is Smith. I believe that's a normal one. Not too many. You get till maybe the 7, and then you go a little further back. Wait, is the DoorDash a throwback paint job? I don't know. Is that throwback to like earlier in the NASCAR year of 2024?
DoorDash was on Bubba Wallace's car whenever it first launched. There's a restart. They were stacked up 3 wide behind them as Lynch now powers to the lead here at North Wilkesboro. 3 by 3 by 3. It's like Talladega at Daytona.
These guys are, they're getting a little crazy out there, but they're making it work, and that's all that matters. As long as you can do is we go 3 wide, almost 3 deep. It's getting a little crazy for my liking. We better calm it down, boys. Calm it down. Simmer down. Nah, don't simmer down. Let's put on a show for the fans out there watching, because I know they want to see it as much as we do. As these fans, they like a little beating and banging. That's racing.
Definitely getting exciting, no doubt. 3 wide again. Look at that. The number 4 Hale, monkey in the middle, or camel in the middle. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, there is definitely a camel in the middle there. As he's going to lose a few spots. We go back to 2 wide, but we're not 2 wide for long. We go up, and there's still 3 wide. Just a few spots up, the 44, the 28, and the 7. And they're going to sort that out, but now they're going to take it 3 wide, 1 row back. So, Wesley, I don't think any of these guys really want to go 3 wide. I think they're kind of getting forced there, because whoever's the unfortunate soul that gets up on that outside that goes 3 or gets put 3 wide, they're losing spots big time. So you do not want to get on that outside. It's like the outside lane is the sucker hole here at North Wilkesboro.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you caught that one, but that was an interesting one going on between the 28 and the 25. These guys are absolutely just beating and banging. Rubbin's racing as we got another caution out, and this time it's Trey Jackson in the 5.
Around the 5. Yep. He's normally in the nationwide colors, and it still is the nationwide colors, except it's kind of like a Kyle Busch Kellogg's throwback, if you will. Kellogg's Cornflakes, Frosted Flakes car. By the way, shout out to Kyle Busch. He is celebrating a birthday today, 43 years old for Rowdy. And look at Smith saving on the bottom of the 81. No, he doesn't. I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and there it is. So much going on. And while we're watching that one, we're going to go back. This did not bring out a caution, but watch the 25 and the 3. This is what I caught a glimpse of a little bit ago. Somehow this didn't bring out a caution, as you'll come around one more corner. I believe this was happening on the back stretch. Yeah, you see the 3 comes up just a little bit. I'm not sure if the 25 didn't know he was there. They get together. They're literally sliding down the back stretch. Doesn't bring out a caution, though.
Yellow flag out again, approaching the halfway mark of this one. 62 of 200 laps, and I don't think anybody is going to come to pit road. We got to thank sponsors, and we'll be back with more from North Wilkesboro Stars and Stripes Racing League, the playoffs, iRacing on LSRTV. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll get ready to go back for the restart here. We'll come back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. Wesley Outlet, Charles Wooten here with you. The Throwback Scheme All-Star Race, 200 laps, approaching now about over a quarter of the distance complete. 43 to the halfway mark where they come back to the line, and we are back underway. And look at Robinson now being the man to be the leader of this race. For how long, though? He is the guy that's right now up in that top spot, Charles, as they work off two.
Yeah, they're going to battle hard, and, I'm surprised. We've had a couple of cautions, but, really nothing too aggressive, nothing majorly. But, yeah, to drive home that point, we're working lap 67, now 68. We'll be at lap 100 halfway point very quickly. Even with the cautions, we are racking up laps very quickly. Which is good. We got plenty of time. We have 133 laps to go, an hour and 26 minutes, so we are nowhere in jeopardy of running out of time, which definitely goes to show, these guys know what they're doing. They're out there putting on a good show, but not, racking up the cautions. I've seen races here where there's a caution every other lap nearly, so big shout out to these guys and their ability to get around this, half-mile track.
Yeah, what a phenomenal job they're doing right now is, again, Joshua Robinson having the opportunity, if you will, to lead this race, the number 30 machine. And honestly, Charles, that's a driver that we've seen in the weeks past, months past, that struggles, gets caught up in accidents, doesn't do well. And right now, he is the man that is having the opportunity to lead the way here. And, man, that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling, when you have a really good race, and it gives you a lot of momentum going into further races. You like to have a whole string of them, but hey, if you can get that one just to give you a little bit of a confidence boost, momentum, especially, that's when I would want to have my good races is towards the end of the season, especially right at the end, those last couple of races, put a good string together, because then going into the next season, it definitely, propels you to think, okay, I got this. I can do good.
Doing well right now with Robinson in the lead. Big lead over Tatum and company. Behind them, we got problems, and it looks like Glass is in trouble. The 16 machine on time, and it's scoring the 24. Gordon Throwback up in the safer barrier. Well, correction, there is no safer barrier here at North Wilkesboro, but with that being said, though, and look at Whitaker, goes around in front of Glass and more. Spinning, stays in the throttle. We stay green. What a save.
Yeah, he was definitely in the throttle or on the throttle. No. Yeah, it was a fun to it. But, yeah, he stayed on the throttle, and he kept it going, and what a save by Whitaker in that 28 machine. Thankfully, he didn't go any further in the pit road. If he'd went just a little bit further, he might have had a unsafe pit entrance sideways like that, but he does rein it in before the yellow cone, so no harm done, and I'm not sure what their policy would be on that as we go to the battle a little further up front. They may have cleared it, they may not have, as the one of Will Bustler is getting loose, and he hits the outside wall.
And this will probably draw a caution, as that will come out just around lap 75 of the race, or after lap 75. Caution will fly for Will Bustler. Got himself a couple of wins at the start of the season, if you will. And Bustler will put us under yellow flag. Lap 77. Look at McCoy and Bustler. Ogle right there around one another. We'll see what happened here, Charles.
I believe this was another case of just getting loose and then overcorrecting. As you'll see right coming out of this turn, I believe is when it happened. As he sees loose there, loose, overcorrects, and there's nowhere to go, right into the outside wall. And like you said, no safer barrier, as the nose of that car decided it wanted to pop off and then pop back on. So those rivets definitely doing their job here tonight, Wesley.
Caution out again. Here you see that 91 machine. Good miss there for Smith. Back in the top 20, though. So we got a couple of guys in the back of the pack behind the top 15 that come down to the pit lane. It's Joshua Robinson that is continuing to be the man that leads the way here. By the way, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the playoffs of the Stars and Stripes Racing League. We're in the final month, believe it or not, Charles. Ain't it amazing how fast the year flew, man? Wow. Yeah, just 3 final races, and obviously we had planned on making the All-Star race with the Indy 500 or the Indy cars or whatever. But unfortunately, real life work got in the way of that one. Unless we have a rain out or something, before they can find someone, it's just one of those deals, and that's precisely why, unfortunately, it's going to be bittersweet. We just got him over here on the channel, and then in the 23rd will be our send-off. We'll be saying bon voyage. We will definitely miss him, but as well as I do, real life work unfortunately gets in the way a lot, and that's a night for traveling to real racetracks to get there, and obviously my work's been pretty good with me letting me finish out the contract we had, but right out of the gate we go to Meeker, Oklahoma to Red Dirt Raceway, and that one actually interfered with the All-Star race. So it's unfortunate, but it is one of those deals that happens. Yeah, pretty much about the same thing. Whenever we're in real racing mode, obviously, real race life overtakes the world of iRacing, and I say that in no disrespect, and I know you understand that as well because you work full-time with Race On. And I will say this, my intention, me and Charles talked about it, that my intention is hopefully to reach out to Nate Lynch and the folks with Stars and Stripes, and if they do broadcasting on something else, maybe try to be lead anchor for that. But unless something changes, it won't be on LSRTV. So we're back in the green though, Charles. Let's see what happens as we are closing in on a century grind with another century grind remaining in this one. 117 to be exact when they come to the line here out of turn 4.
Yeah, and we'll plug it out there. They've asked me if there's anyone wants to pick up the league. Definitely, you can reach out to me and I'll get you in contact with them, or you can reach out to them. They're a good league to broadcast. They're always fun. They put on a good one. They're putting on a good battle right now for the top 5, 6, 7, 8 going on. That is the 05 of Scott Rickard. He's putting on a good battle with Lawson right now. Bowling behind them. Grimm just ahead in 5th. There goes Rickard, and no caution. He will save it. Same exact spot, Wesley. I'm beginning to think somebody leaked dropped some oil, leaked some oil on the track, because everybody is getting loose right there. However, I do know from talking to Jeff Stabnow that there was a track, I believe it was Dover or Richmond, one of the two, where you see the blackout on the track, where you would think it'd be the rubber laying down. There was it's like glass out there. That was on another track, because we got a big pile up happening with the 24, the 28, and the 4. We'll get back to that.
Rickard, and Rickard 2 times involved in an incident. There you see the 5 trying to get away of Jackson. And another caution flag coming out yet again here. Let's take a look at the replay. We'll find out what happened.
Yeah, I believe it started somewhere around Dylan Glass in the 16/24. The 28 was involved. The 4 was involved as well. The question is, did this just stem from somebody getting loose? Or right there, the 46 and the 25 have a little contact.
Right.
And, just a chain reaction. I want to go look at it from Aaron Hell's point of view in the 4 machine and see exactly what he thought of what was going on there. As we'll go to his helmet cam, and a nice view here as all seems well until it's not.
on board with the Camel Cup. Is it in you?
We'll see. Again, it just right there was a little contact, 25, and then he just hits him right square in the door, hits the guardrail, and that's pretty much all she wrote for Aaron Hell. The car's still running, so we'll see if he can get it back up to the front, or at least salvage a night of it. But that's really, Wesley, the first racing incident. We've had two cars collide together. It was the 46, I do believe, and the 25. They get together, and it just causes a chain reaction.
Let's take a look at as we are closing in on halfway, the race summary so far. Brought to you by Virginia811.com. 6 cautions so far in this race. 6 yellow flags, 6 cautions, 27 caution laps, 5 lead changes.
Now, and I will throw this.
The race has been pretty interesting, Charles.
It very much has been, and I'm gonna throw this out there. That is a logo, by the way. The VA811 or TX811, whoever it may be, NC811. Now that you've seen it, just for everyone out there watching, watch it real close. Get a good look at it. And then you'll start seeing it everywhere you go. I never really thought about it.
Oh, dude, they're everywhere.
Yes.
In every state.
You will find it everywhere. I was sitting at Walmart waiting to pick up a grocery order, and I looked over at their little meter on the wall, and it said NC811 on it. So, it never fails. Like, you've seen it, and now you'll see it everywhere.
Yep. Sponsored a NASCAR race, obviously. A couple of years, matter of fact, at Martinsville. Modifieds. Much more. Let's set them up for the restart here as we're closing in on lap 92. 108 laps to go here in the All-Star Throwback Scheme 200. Round 2 of the playoffs. It's Robinson Tatum on the front row, and Robinson gets a good launch on the Virginian and the 21 at Tatum. Open the door to McCoy. Ogle right back in the dogfight again as they work off the corner. And Grimm in the top 5 of the DoorDash car has been quietly up in front, doing well.
Yeah, he's just kind of hiding back there. The 25 almost getting into the outside wall. He'll recover from it. He did not touch it, so that's good. But he will fall back a little bit as the battles are on right now. Grattan, he's got some fans out there in that 42 machine in 7th. His partner Zach Kreitz back in 12th. Still just outside the top 10. He'll work his way up, I'm sure, throughout this race. But the battles are really starting to heat up, and we kind of figured they would. The further you get into this race, the halfway point, once we get to lap 150 with 50 laps to go, I think we're really going to start seeing, the guys that have just kind of been hanging in there. They're going to show what they have later on in this race, and that time is coming, and it's going to get here very shortly.
Smith had problems earlier. You see him right now, Chris Smith, up on the outside, the 44 of Kyle Bowling. Usually you see him in a 94 car Pepsi machine, and he is in a Pepsi car, but it has got a nice little wrap job on it as well.
Yeah, it definitely
I love them. Thank you for the people that participated in this, for sure.
Yes, participation is, it's not mandatory, but it is frowned upon. It's not frowned upon, but we like it. We like it when you participate in the throwbacks.
25-point deduction from your points.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm messing.
It's a 25 unofficial point reduction. But no, we like it. We always tease the drivers, especially when they don't show up to post-race. We say, you lose your points for media obligations. No, we love it when the drivers get in there. And some of these drivers, they can't do throwbacks because they do have actual sponsors. But it is cool to see when they do throw them back. And speaking of throwing it back, we're going to throw it back to the front where the top 3 have kind of somewhat checked out, but then they were anyway. They're not checking out anymore. It's kind of a conga line for the first about 10, 12 drivers. This is what I expected, though, Wesley, in the first 100 laps, not the last 100 laps where they're kind of single file. Have they thought maybe, hey, I need to slow it down a little bit. We're spinning out, and they're going to save till 50 to go and then just go all out?
Well, that'd be the smart thing to do, right? I mean, it's time to ride and drive. We're finally 100 laps into it, halfway home, 100 laps to go. A lot of cautions in the first half of the race. Now you need to kind of sit this stretch here in North Wilkesboro. Not saying that it's a caution-filled city track, because this track is also popular, and believe it or not, very popular, Charles, for having long green flag runs to the checkered flag of the races. So kind of, wheel out the bad drivers, or the bad luck, if you will. I don't want to say the bad drivers, but, the ones unexperienced, if you are in the back, and get the front runners up there, start knocking some laps off. Obviously, process of elimination will do that too, and then you start to, get out here and race it out. More green flag runs. Get to the finish of this thing.
Yeah, it's exactly what you got to do. You just got to bide your time, have a good race. And, we know these guys can beat and bang. We saw it earlier on in the night. And then they've decided to calm back. Like you were saying, they're going to just kind of ride and don't press anything. You see a little puff of smoke there in the middle of the track. So somebody got a little loose. Something happened, and there's a caution that probably spawned from that. As we'll see, the number 28 is just entered pit road, so we'll take a look and see what happened. And we'll see if this is the reason for that puff of smoke we saw just kind of floating there on the track. And maybe not, but we'll see exactly what happened. Yep, there's the puff of smoke we saw. That engine has expired. He put a hand grenade in it. Maybe missed a shift or something, but that engine's gone.
Lap number 105 of 200. Caution out again. Let's see if anybody comes down to the pit lane. I would say everybody behind the leader. Boy, they just left Robinson like a sitting duck. Unless Robinson thinks he's okay. Oh, and he might be, right? Last time he pitted, though, was on lap number 50. Lap 78 for other guys. Get this resorted and try it again. Quick break, and we'll get ready for the second half of this race. Don't go anywhere. We're back from Wilkesboro, the Throwback Skiing 200. This is iRacing on LSRTV.
All right, we are back, and the lights are off, and Wes will be joining us. Had to run to the concession stand and get a little beverage to drink. I was getting a little parched up in the booth, so he'll be back here in just a moment, as we are just about ready to take the green flag one more time. And we'll see, pace truck is off, and green flag is back in the air one more time. We'll try this again Very few on the cautions, but we'll see 3 wide already as Ross Tatum going to take it to the top side. What a night of racing. Great battles all over. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Putting on a heck of a show for everybody here tonight. Again, Wesley having to step to the concession stand real fast. He'll be back here momentarily as the green flag back out. And we'll see if it stays that way. Lap 1:12 on the board right now. 89 to go, 88 at the lap as Ross Tatum going to take to the high side. On the inside is the 11. And we'll see how that one's going to play out. Looks like it's going to go to the 11 of Thomas Ogle. Tom Ogle, as he's known in Discord. I'll go back a little further. You got Robinson, Lush, and Grattan, Bolin, Rickard, Glass. Every one of these in your top 10, putting on a heck of a battle, trying to get every position they can. Again, playoffs underway here for the Stars and Stripes Racing League here on Thursday night on LSRTV. We'll see how it all unfolds. Again, we only have 3 races, and we will be crowning a champion. We already mentioned, unfortunately, not getting to go to kind of to the All-Star race due to real life racing obligations, but we're definitely going to be here till the end of the season and call it to the end until the fat lady sings, or, you know, you can light the cigar. It ain't over. You light the cigar, so we'll be there for the crowning moment of that champion as the battle's still underway right now between Grattan in the 42, and you got the 44 of Bowling. Rickard there, Smith just a little bit back in the 81. Big shout out to the 81 Chris Smith. He's not had the night he's wanted points wise, but he's still hanging in there in the top 10 in 9th place. Just kind of duking it out as best he can, and I believe Wesley is back from the concession stand. I hope he brought me a water.
I actually got a Lipton green tea citrus. Lipton citrus green tea.
No Powerade,
with other natural flavors.
Well, I guess if that's what we're stuck with in the concession stand, we'll go with it. I was hoping for a Powerade or a Gatorade, but we may just have to settle for Red Bull.
Yeah. Well, back on the restart, and obviously it is McCoy back up in front again. Ogle in second, Grimm third, Tatum fourth. Loshin now in the top 5. That's the way it stands. With another lap on the board. Kind of quietly working around the racetrack right here, Charles.
Yeah, they're just kind of quietly working their way around. Nobody's trying to press any major issues right now. Again, nobody's really done anything to press issues. They've made passes, they put on shows, but they're just not being overly aggressive, and that's awesome to see with these guys. You know, these guys have that mentality of point racing. That's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to come out here and win every race. Yes, winning races does help, but you know, what does that say? You've got to finish the race. So I don't know. But anyway, you know, there's a saying about
you must first finish.
Yes, so they're trying to finish.
Yeah.
A little tongue tied there. Couldn't remember the saying, but yeah, you've got to finish the race to get the points. So that's what they're out here trying to do. They're just trying to put together a good points race. I was talking about it for Christopher Smith. Now, you know, he's had an up and down night. He's still sitting in 8th. He's actually gained another spot. So with the roller coaster night he's had, he's still putting together a decent points finish.
Closing in on 75 laps to go here in this one. Obviously, throwback race. A lot of drivers donning the throwback colors for this show. Next week, the series will be off, of course, to the next round, and that will be the event that will be at Auto Club Speedway. It'll be the California Dreamin' 220. The California 220. 110 laps, 220 miles from Auto Club Speedway. That'll be next Thursday night. Penultimate race of the season will be in 2 weeks, and that will be the Valley of the Sun 150 at Phoenix Raceway. 150 laps, 150 miles And the championships will be decided in the Sin City Shootout at Sim City, Las Vegas. 225 miles, 150 laps to decide the champion.
It feels like we just started this. This was a decent season here, too, by the way. It was 20 races, but it feels like we just got started. And here we are wrapping it up momentarily. But they've always been out there ever since they came on board here for 2024. They've put on a good clinic, put on a good show. And it's showing right here is Grattan holding off the likes of Rickard and Smith. He's gaining spots. He's up to 6 right now. They would love to get a 1-2 or a 2-3, something like that for Kreitz and Grattan. So we'll see if they can do that here tonight. People that you would think, Wesley, would have been out of this race already with no fast repair. It's not been the case. They're still in this one, as we only have 2 drivers out of this race, and that is Josh Whitaker and Will Bussler. Everybody else is in this race currently. And for that matter, looking at it, there's nobody other than those 2 that everyone's on the lead lap on top of that.
Pretty good solid run for these guys right now as the laps continue to dwindle around to 70 to go. Round number 17 of the year. Charles, I can't believe this, man, that we're literally like in round 17 of the year. Like, where did the season go? Like, it just seems like we were just at Daytona back in, February, I think is when we started it.
Yeah, it's a lot of racing in a little bit of time. And that's the one thing about this one. They do not take a week off. We have had 0 weeks off in this series. So when they start, they are dedicated. They are good to go, and they go the entire length of it, just back to back to back.
And let me apologize. It started the second week of January, but it doesn't seem like we've been racing that long. It really doesn't.
No, it definitely does not. Again, 20 weeks. Well, this will be about 16 or 17 weeks. But, yeah, it does not feel like it's been that long. It seems like we just started, and now it's coming to an end. But, they're just out here putting on a good show. And that's one thing it is. When they come out here and they put on a good show like they're doing with good racing, it goes by quick. Speaking of cool, we only have 66 laps to go in this race.
That's right. Flying by for sure. Stars and Stripes Racing League round 17 tonight is again the throwback night.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, Wesley, some of these guys, they're all throwback, whether it's their same paint job, it's just a throwback to last week. If it's a different one, they're just throwing it further back. So they're still doing a throwback, regardless how you think about it. So, I mean, it is a throwback, and that's one way to look at it. Hey, this is my paint job last week. It's a throwback, to last Thursday night.
There you go.
It's Throwback Thursday.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I thought of it that way. Friday Eve.
Yeah, so they are technically doing what they need to do. They're throwing it back. Just, no one ever said throwback race had to be to 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It can be from 10 minutes ago if you ran a race right before this.
That's dedication. What can I say?
that is a overactive imagination kicking in at this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
We may overanalyze everything as we're sitting here watching this battle between Grattan in the 42 and the 05 of Chris Smith.
We're just trying to give him something to talk about. That's all.
Yeah, because this is what we expected. They're kind of getting strung out. They're not getting those battles we were seeing. With all the weather we've been having, I'm going to analyze this a little bit. This is kind of like the Texas weather and probably North Carolina weather we've been having here lately. This is the calm before the storm. This is when you have those little bitty battles, little bitty storms, out by themselves, And as we get closer to the end of this race with 60 to go, they're starting to come together. Now you're seeing these 4 come together, and eventually we will have one big battle going on, and they will get even wild and crazy, just like the storms get a little crazy. So This is just that calm before the storm.
I'm hoping that the weather will improve for sure. Looks like it slowly is, but obviously, like you said, it might be improving in other places, but not here. So, you know, we'll see what happens for sure. But everybody be safe. I know they've been. Oh, we got a caution as Smith is turned around again. Chris Smith was off the pace. Some more cars were involved. And Charles, this is going to end what, about a good 40-lap green flag run, wasn't it? I mean.
Yeah, it was a
that's Fish
nice
around.
run.
Mark Fish. Yeah, Mark Fish around to the 13, and we're looking for a replay here to find out what happened. Thank you to ATVO for finding that for us.
But you were good. It's actually broke. It's not supposed to be saying that, but our replay for some reason is not working properly. And let's see.
Oh, I thought you put together a sponsor, Will and Deal. Oh, it's already.
Oh, there we go. The 11. Oh. That's what we were looking for. We knew it was somewhere up there. We'll take a look and see for the 11 of Tom Ogle and see exactly what happened to him. And I have a feeling this may have been just a little bit of a getting loose kind of deal. Not the first time it's happened to him, unfortunately, but there is really nobody around him to say he got a shot in the shorts or gave somebody a shot in the shorts. I have a feeling this was a single car little incident spin, and there it is right there.
There it is with Ogle going around to the 11, the White Claw entry. Was under caution yet again here. Yep.
I will give him that was some stylish points. That was a perfect little spin, and he stopped it. And, you know, and I want to talk about this is we got about 55 laps to go, and they cross the line under caution here. You know, props to the 11 of Tom Ogle. You know, we see this all the time. That could have very well been a 3 or 4 or 5 car pileup had he, you know, hit the gas and try to spin that car back around, but he did exactly what they teach you in racer driver school, if that's even a thing. You know, they teach you when you spin, hit the brakes, because somebody's spotter is going to be telling them, car in the center of the track, go high, go low. You hit the brakes and you stop where you're at once you come to a stop. Obviously, you can't, you know, if you're rolling, you're rolling. You can't help that. But, you know, lock the brakes up and stop and let people go around you and then go when you're clear. He did just that, and, you know, yeah, it hurt his position, but he saved his car from getting obliterated by someone else coming around the track, and he saved their car. So a big shout out to Tom Ogle on doing what he needed to do to keep that car in one piece.
Well, I mean, what you said. Welcome back to our coverage, of course, here tonight, real quickly, as the pace car is coming to the pit lane. So much for putting the sponsors on the screen. Let's get back to a restart first, as we are 53 laps to go. Here, closing in on the final quarter of the race, 3 quarters through. And McCoy right there up in front again. I love all the cartoons. Is that Sylvester and Tweety Bird and Elmer Fudd? And
I believe it is.
I see all sorts of cartoon characters on that car. I love it.
That is definitely Sylvester on the hood. I mean, you can always tell it's black, white with a bright red nose. So it's either that or a cat version of Rudolph, one of the two. But I'm going to the fact that it's probably Sylvester. That is what it looks like indeed, and Tweety going on there. So big shout out to him. Let's see. Well, we might have a thing. We'll see. I don't know if we got a camera that can get a good view of it. We'll see. Yeah, it's not going to get us much better of a view. This is a horrible drone view, but we're going to go to it anyway. There we go. No, it ain't helping us any. There we go. Yes, it is Sylvester. I don't know how we're keeping a drone this steady in front of the car.
Run, Tweety! Run, Tweety, run! I'll come after you, you little bit.
There you
Remember
go.
cartoons are fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cartoons are fun.
They were great back in the day. You know, you actually had a reason to get out of bed.
Cat. I thought I saw a putty cat. I did. Oh, I'm unveiling how old I am. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are, you old man. But no, that was the back in the day. You know, kids had a reason to get out of bed. You know, now they get out of bed so they can play Grand Theft Auto and shoot everybody. I mean, never played the game, but you know, I hear it's okay. But yeah, that was the good old days of waking up, you know, early in the morning, Saturday morning, you know, so you could watch the cartoons.
Yes.
But yeah, back to the racing before we both tell how old we are. Is you got a good battle going on between Rickard in the 05 and the 21 of Tatum. Tatum going to try to get the advantage, and he does to take over second place. Again, I think now's go time. These guys know. You know, usually we say go time is like 10, 20 to go. But with a short track like this, I think it was go time about 50 to go.
Yeah, I believe you're exactly right as we watch these guys working back around the corner again, no doubt, as we see McCoy the leader. McCoy, Tatum, Rickard. Rickard had problems. And let's be honest, every one of those drivers up in the top 5, Charles, in some shape or form without 45 to go, they were involved in an incident or in some type of altercation on the racetrack. And you see they've literally found their way and fought through and recovered, and doing really well right now, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they are indeed. It's Ross Tatum going to take the lead for the first time here tonight. I believe that's our first lead change, too. I'll have to take a look. Oh, sorry, 7th lead change. But some of them may have been under caution. But, man, Ross Tatum would be stoked if he could get the win here tonight. Again, it's all about momentum here in the playoffs. And he said earlier when I talked to him, man, if I'd have known it was this short of playoffs, I wasn't thinking I would have pushed it harder. Well, he's doing that here tonight to try to get the win.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely putting himself in the contention spot to make something of that caliber take place, as right now it is Tatum back up in front again. By the way, as we mentioned, there was the bragging and the hype of it being the all-star race and the throwback schemes and all this cool stuff, but you got to remember something, Charles. This is a points race. This isn't like when the big boys come in May to North Wilkesboro for the all-star race. It's a non-points run for $1 million. This is a points race for these guys in the Stars and Stripes Racing League. So with that being said, you know, you want to be competitive. You want to show off the beautiful paint schemes of your throwback colors, but you also want to stand out and be there at the end, win this race, one up everybody. And if you're one of those guys in the run for the playoffs, that's one up in your cap.
Yeah, you definitely, you know, you want to come out here and do what you got to do, and that's key. Doing what you have to do as the battle fizzles out for the lead, but it is nowhere near fizzled out midfield as you go back to about 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 15th, 20th. That's where the battle's at right now, is these guys really starting to get a little bit of aggressive because they know they only have 38 laps to go at the line.
Up high, the 24, that's Glass, as I mentioned earlier. Dylan Graham in that 23 DoorDash color. That's kind of a throwback of Bubba Wallace's car when he drove for 2311 during the COVID years with DoorDash on the car. There's the camel. Is it in you? Camel.
You really have to say.
Yeah. No, listen, when I was a kid, listen, God rest his soul, my grandfather and my brother John, he lives in Australia. I haven't seen him face-to-face in 8 years. But my brother, my grandfather used to smoke, and he smoked Camel cigarettes. So my brother jokingly used to always say, you know, "Hi, Grandpa, Camel, listen to you. You know, big breakfast. Are you using them?"
We're really getting our age on here.
It's like a memory. It's a memory of my brother. So every time I see the Camel car, I think of my brother. I think of that quote.
When I ain't gonna lie, when I think of Camel cigarettes and I think of Marlboro, you know, I think of the old Winston Cup days. I think of, you know, back before they said you couldn't, you know, now you can't even have like the signs and stuff for cigarettes that you used to have in the stores. I haven't seen the little candy cigarettes in a long time. You're talking about some fun times. They had the little candy ones. As the caution is out, and this time it's going to be a few cars involved. Zach Smith involved in this one in the 91 and a few others. We'll get back to
that Lynch. I think it was Lynch caught up in it too, the 25.
I believe Nate Lynch was indeed.
He led earlier. Yeah, he led earlier.
And this is why there was a good battle going on here as well. We'll see exactly what happened. Did this spawn from somebody getting loose again? Or was it just a little bit of a bump and run? As we know, it's time to get a little more aggressive. In the 91, he got a shot in the shorts this time.
Nate gave him a shot in the left rear, buddy,
And the door panel.
Sure did. Nate Lynch. Is that the guy that you say looks like me? Is that the 25? Is it? Yeah. Wow, okay.
Yeah, he's coming down pit road. There you go. That is Wesley Outland's Doppler twin. I think he looks like you.
Yeah. He's the guy behind the he's the guy that's behind the Stars and Stripes Racing League, isn't he?
I believe so. There's him. There's Brian Lynch, Fred Lynch, Susan Lynch. There's a lot of Lynches.
Susan Lynch, really? No. You just said Susan Lynch.
There's like 4 Lynches. I believe there's a Brian Lynch is one of them. Unfortunately, we haven't seen Brian, but we were talking about that actually with Nate earlier. He hadn't been here but the first 2 races. But there's if they were all here, there's 4 of them total.
Gotcha.
But unfortunately, not all of them making it to all the races. But yeah, just a little bit of a shot in the shorts there from Nate Lynch to the 91. Sends him around, but nothing major. It was just a little, I didn't realize maybe you were going to break so soon, and he gets him. Wesley, we have 30 laps to go. We're going to have about 28, 25, somewhere around there when we take the green flag. This race is going to be wrapping up very quickly.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it for sure as we're closing in on the home stretch, but under 30 remaining here, closing in at the line. And there you see, of course, Ross Tatum continuing to be the man in the lead. By the way, don't forget, next week we will be, of course, at Auto Club Speedway, the California 220, round number 3. And our series is proudly presented by fine folks like Butt Kicker. Thank you to Butt Kicker. Thank you also to Next Level Racing. Okay, they're not doing any production now, but previous podcasts of On the Throttle is available on all major platforms and outlets. And finally, the nation's #1 5G network pole qualifying sponsor. It is Verizon. And I have Verizon, Charles.
You and me both.
Is it in you? I have Verizon.
No, but it's in my hand. Indeed, my phone has been in my hand. I've been looking up stuff pretty much all night. Stat stuff here and there. But I can honestly 100% say, we do not get any kickback from Verizon sponsoring this, but they are, the nation's #1 carrier. So if you need a good service, well, I'd go with Verizon. Fully support them. Been with them for 22 years now.
Yeah, about the same for me. And we're back to green. Under 30 laps to go. Who's going to be the man bragging about being the big winner here tonight? 3 wide. Look at that, Charles. Already 3 wide behind them on the restart.
Yeah, I think the golden spot right now is Ross Tatum. I think he put himself in the lead at just the right time, because now everybody's going to be beating, banging, trying to rip door panels off, saying, hey, that was my spot. That was my 1 inch of real estate on the track. Is the 24 going to get a little rub? He'll get sideways. Then he gets a shot from the 4, your favorite, the Camel car. And we stay green through all of that, but we're 4 wide on the front stretch. Ooh, there goes the 30.
And look out, Robinson. Kreitz crashing. Robinson now
no caution.
Back on track. No yellow flag, though. What a tough break for Robinson, who led earlier in this race. Matter of fact, he was leading around halfway.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about.
75 laps makes.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, though. Ross Tatum put himself in the catbird seat. He is in the golden spot right now because everybody wants to get where he is. These guys that are, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way to about 10th or 12th, they want up where he's at, and they're going to beat and bang to get there. As the 46 a little bit loose, he's going to slow them down. But Tatum has about a 3 or 4 car lead now. Hopefully he can maintain it for his sake. He wants to win this thing. But yeah, they're going to beat and bang to get to where he is, and that's good for him because the more they beat and bang, the more it slows him down.
And all the while, it is Tatum up in that top spot. He continues to lead the way. Look at this guy on the traffic. Christopher Smith inside, giving plenty of room to Bowling, to Tom Ogle on the bottom. Ogle won a couple of weeks ago, struggled here last week, and of course tonight at Wilkesboro, climbing back into the top 10. Here's a battle for the lead. Holy shnikes. Look at this, 3-4 cars. Throw a blanket over them. McCoy under attack. Here comes Tatum on the outside, battling back.
Yeah,
Richards
I didn't.
Back in the battle.
Tatum just got loose. I did not see that. Tatum obviously has a fast car, but, Tatum, you're a buddy, but you ain't got the fastest car out there by a long shot, I don't think. As, he just got, they were beating and banging, damaging their cars, and they just went by him like he was sitting still as the caution's out for, the 4. And Bustler just bust him one more time. We'll go after that horrible pun and take a look at the
review. Friends, are they?
No.
Seriously. Campbell, is it in you? No, but I'll punt you too.
Yeah, I don't think Bustler had anywhere to go. We'll see what happened. The 4, something happened with him first, and the 1 just looked like he had nowhere to go potentially. And it just got him. And there you see somebody going around in the background. My. Oh, there you go. The 4 got a little helping hand from the Dude Wipes machine. And there you go. This is what I was talking about. Bustler, nowhere to go. The 4, potentially should have held his line up in the top a little bit longer, but the track was mostly clear. And then he comes down and just gets clobbered by the 1 of Will Buster.
What will happen? Under 20 to go here at North Wilkesboro. The finish is next. Stay with us. We're back for that checkered flag moment, or cautions, or more. There's a chance at overtime. We'll decide it all when we return. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Shootout time here at North Wilkesboro. Welcome back to coverage. Who are we going to talk to in the podium when this race is said and done? Charles Wooten, I'm Wesley Outland, ready to settle it here. Real quickly, look at the race summary as we approach 15 to go at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. 10 cautions, 50 caution laps. You do the math. We're coming up on lap 185. That means 130 laps have been under yellow, have been green flag. 50 have been under caution. 8 lead changes. And boy, it was getting antsy up in the front for that high top spot. Ready to come to the Geico restart zone. We're back to it again. Here with McCoy this time, Charles on the jump. Behind them, Tatum under attack by Grimm on the outside. They're door to door now.
Yeah, if this race couldn't get any better, now we bunch them up. We're going to try it again. I have a feeling we're not done with the cautions because we have 13 laps to go right there at the line. I don't think this race is anywhere near over. The 11 getting a little bump there to the 23, that DoorDash throwback machine to Bubba Wallace. So we'll see how that one plays out. It wasn't a hard tap, but he's letting him know he's there as Ross Tatum is way loose.
Somehow saved it as they work their way again off the corner. 12 to go. It's white knuckle time. Working off the corner. Ogle inside going after Grimm. Tatum and Smith behind them in the back. 11 to go.
11 to go, and I thought there was a car stopped on the track. That was the pace car, just sitting out there nearly on the racing surface. No harm there. Pace car cannot be hit, thank goodness, as you can go right through them like a ghost. So it'd be cool if you could hit the pace car, but unfortunately you can. And this right now belongs to McCoy. You know, he kind of dominated, then he got passed. You know, makes you wonder if McCoy was just kind of sizing up the competition, Wesley. Yeah, we'll see what you got, and then I'm going to come by you here with 9 to go.
Shake, rattle, and roll, holding on to it now as they work their way back down the back straightaway. There you see the man of the 7, the Celsius Live Fit number 7. Sylvester is after Tweedy.
Yeah.
Rickard's after McCoy, pardon the pun. 8 to go here at Wilkesboro.
Yeah, Grimm's after both of them, and that's a good battle, but this is the battle I want to keep an eye on at the moment with, Tatum, Bowling, Lynch, Robinson, Grattan. That is a battle going on. Again, it's not always the battle for the lead that we want to watch because this battle's starting to heat up a little bit as Grattan's going to get a little sideways. And, he saves it from the wall, though.
Stays inside, stays below the apron, back up to speed. Grattan losing momentum, falls all the way back to 18th. But meanwhile, we stay under the green flag. It is 7 to go for McCoy. He is already working back into turn number 3 of the racetrack.
Oh, there goes the 25 loose now. And Nate Lynch, everybody is getting loose on this track, you know.
My twin!
Yeah, your twin gets loose. I don't think anybody's safe on this track when it comes to getting loose, especially if you got somebody like Rickard right behind you, and that's number 05 machine. If you're the 7 of McCoy, you do not want him getting to the back bumper and taking the air off that car. They're loose enough as it is, obviously, and we'll talk to the drivers later on and see that their thoughts are in the top 3. But, man, these guys do not want a car any looser than it is as we come 3 to go next time by.
Time is running out. Gonna put something on the line. You better do it now. As they work their way back to the corner. It is McCoy. 3 laps remaining. Here he comes, working off of that 4th turn down to the line, or the backstretch actually, working into turn number 3. And 3 to go, Charles. Look at that 7, but boy, can he hold off Scott Rickard. It's pretty much these guys for the championship as well. 1 and 2 on the racetrack.
Yeah, this is going to get real interesting to see. You know, it would be really awesome to come down to them 2 for the championship race as well. And, the way they're racing right now, that's a very much a possibility.
Very much a possibility. They come to the line. White flag is in the air. The CRN 1 to go. More details at wearecrn.com. And right now, it is McCoy leading the All-Stars in the throwback scheme. It is Tweedy running for his life, but Sylvester's going to grab him by the claws, and McCoy's going to win here at Wilkesboro. His 5th win of the year. Are you kidding me?
And, you know, you can't ask for much more than that to get a good win. And to get so many on the season, what a job. Is Sylvester or Tweety? I don't know which one won, but one of them won on that car here tonight.
In his 129th start, Kyle McCoy picks up now his 32nd career win of the Stars and Stripes Racing League, his 73rd top 5, and his 101st top 10. Where did he get his 100th top 10? Last week, as well as winning at Homestead. Can you say back-to-back as well for the number 7? Wow.
Yeah, he's going to do a lot of celebrating here. Good points night. Good just overall night. Getting the win. Oh, yeah, keep it off the wall. You might not pass tech. There you go. No, he does a good job there tonight. Going to take it backwards, but man, what a race.
Celebration is on. Look at this. When it's all said and done, look at the results here tonight. Obviously, as I aforementioned last week, by the way, my apologies. Zach Kreitz won last week. My bad. Zach Kreitz was the winner last week, the Baby Ruth car. But for Kyle McCoy, it is a win for him. No, my bad. Zach Kreitz was on the pole. Christopher Smith won last week. There you go. Making sure I got all my stats and information correct. There you go. Kyle McCoy, his last win was on March the 28th at Nashville Super Speedway. You know, Charles, I'm a stat guy. You know that. Kyle McCoy gets the win of the All-Star Throwback race. Scott Rickard is second. Dylan Graham, Thomas Ogle, Christopher Smith, your top 5. Christian Lawson, Ross Tatum, Kyle Bowling, Joshua Robinson, and Mark Schrader will round out the top 10.
Yeah, 11th through 22nd was your starters here. Going to be Mark Fish, Nate Lynch, who was involved in a few things, not the night he wanted here tonight. Trey Jackson, William Duff, Tom Wizza, Aaron Hale, Dylan Glass, Jason Gratton, who had a good run until the end. Same with Zach Kreitz. Teammates finishing right there, 18th and 19th. Zach Smith in 20th. And the last two going to be Will Bustler and Josh Whitaker, going to be rounding out your 22 car field here tonight after 200 laps.
And one more time, let's take a look at the race summary tonight, brought to you by Virginia 811. There it is, 10 cautions for 48 laps and 8 lead changes. When the race is finished, it is Kyle McCoy getting it done. It is, of course, again, as I aforementioned, his now 5th win of the year, the most of everybody this year, and obviously it was him and Rickard to battle it out. 32 points separated them coming into the race for the playoffs. Boy, oh boy. Now we'll see how it all shakes out. We'll take a break. When we come back, actually we're not going to take a break, we're just going to step away real quickly. When we come back, we will grab the winner here tonight. Go to California tonight, North Wilkesboro, and we grab the winner, Kyle McCoy, here in Victory Lane. Kyle, congratulations, dude. I love You said last week, boy, if you thought that car looked good, wait till you see what I got planned for the throwback scheme. Man, are you a fan of cartoons? I mean, what's your favorite one?
Man, thank you first of all, and gotta give all the credit to Scott. Scott put these paint schemes together. They're kind of parodies on the O2 throwbacks that whole group of Chevys did, and they had absolutely horrible luck that week at Richmond, and so I'm really happy that we kind of broke the curse 22 years later. So that's awesome. My favorite cartoon is Tom and Jerry. I'm a Tom and Jerry lifer, so but I did learn that this cat's name's Sylvester, so I'm glad we took Sylvester and Tweety to victory lane. This is pretty cool.
You never knew that the cat's name was Sylvester?
I think I knew, and it was stored somewhere back deep in the recesses of my brain, but
oh wow, yeah. Now all you need was Elmer Fudd shooting the bird. The cat was it. Now let's go back to the race. Charles is in stitches. Let's go back to the race though, Kyle. Man, dude, you had problems earlier, had to kind of shake it off, but honestly, it looked like everybody had a little trouble trying to figure out North Wilkesboro tonight.
Yeah, I mean the setup was super loose, so you really had to be on it. If you weren't on the edge, you were slow. So it was tough. It was a crazy setup, and yeah, like you said, tons of different tire strategies out there. So I got kind of stuck in that first run behind a couple guys, and kind of had to work my way back through, and I didn't really get through. I just kind of strategied my way back up to the front. And luckily got through unscathed the last couple times. And like you said, I think everybody found something tonight, and I got lucky I didn't find too much. So I guess that's a good qualifying effort. I'm really happy to have qualified that far up front. So it made a big difference. And yeah, it's again really cool to take this paint scheme to victory lane. It's not often you get to take something that looks this good to victory lane in the throwback race. So this is awesome.
Really good, solid day, obviously, man. A lot of way to carry the momentum into the next round of the playoffs and closing in on Scott Rickard, but I know he was right behind you there.
Yeah, geez. I mean, I ran about I feel like I probably got the most points I possibly could, and I'm still probably going to be behind Scott because he's beating my bumper off there at the end. So it's hard to make up points when he's right there behind you the whole time. But I was expecting to lose points tonight, so I'm really happy coming out where I did, and we'll see where the next three fall. I think we're going to be pretty close, us two, and there's probably a couple more guys back there that have stockpiled a couple good points days too. So it's going to be fun to run this thing to the finish, and Scott's one of my good friends, and I'm really excited to battle him here the next 3 weeks.
All right, Charles, the first question was obviously a joking question. That was my serious question. Now you.
All right, now my turn. We know the season's coming to an end. Just kind of talk about how this season's gone. Obviously, it's been a lot of competitive racing, and this race in particular, you had some, points of a couple of cautions, and then it would go and you'd have green flag racing. How did you expect this race to go coming into it? And did it vary your strategy going on throughout the race?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've had a couple races here that have gone green for long stretches of time, so you're kind of really trying to be careful about where you take your tires. You never know when that cutoff caution is going to be, right? I think Josh took a set early, and I was worried we were going to go 80 laps green. He was going to lap the field. So, I mean, you just don't know how the strategy is going to shake out based on where the cautions were. I think the setup being as kind of skatey as it was tonight made a couple more cautions manufactured tonight. But overall, I mean, it's really hard to guess on when you're going to go green and when you're going to go, or when you're going to have a caution. And you saw burn some guys, and luckily I was on the right end of that tonight, just kind of being conservative and making sure I got my tires when I knew I could save some for the end. So it was really tricky. And I mean, this season's been so much fun. The tires are a little different because it makes it hard to pass. So you got to really strategically put yourself in the right spots, and that was, I feel like, the game tonight. So I'm pumped that I came out on the right end, and really cool that we put a 1-2 together for Bronze Horse 2.
All right, buddy. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors. See you next week at California.
Yes, sir. Thanks to thanks to Scott, first of all, for racing me clean, and for the paint scheme tonight. Paint scheme's awesome. I will continue to run this other places. It's going to be really cool. Thank you to Celsius. Thanks to Iowa State. We let out some cool new football uniforms. Go check them out. They're pretty cool. And thanks to you guys who put on the broadcast. I'm excited to go watch this one back. And thanks to Nate and Brian and Derek and everybody that puts this league on. It's the most competitive league I run in, and I run a couple pretty tough ones. So this is really fun, really special to win here. I don't think I've won here in anything ever, so it's pretty cool, and excited to see you next week.
There you go. 5th win this year for the driver of course, the number 7, Kyle McCoy. Scott Rickard, when it comes to consistency, you're doing just that, man. Your Takeum still holding on to this stranglehold of the points lead. Even though he keeps battling, he keeps winning. You are being consistent. Your Takeum surviving Wilkesboro tonight, because you even had your share of good and bad luck as well.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get killed when I was in front of the field. That was lucky. Alright, I love this track. It's one of those tracks where it's unique. I love it for it. It was fun, except for it being a little bit loose.
I'm gonna go more simple question for you. We know they were loose here tonight, but being it was a throwback paint job, is it one of the races you kind of look forward to? You can kind of mix your paint job up a little bit, confuse the broadcasters in some cases for some cars when they're running different numbers. But is it one of those races you look forward to all year long, where you get to really say, okay, take my sponsors and just give me a really cool throwback to, like, a car or a driver you really liked way back in the day?
Yeah, I've wanted to do the Looney Tunes throwbacks for a couple of seasons in this league. It was just about doing it getting the right time to actually do it. And then at the beginning of the season, I'm like, doing Xfinity cars. Like, I want to do Looney Tunes for throwbacks. So I was out to take past like 2 months on and off getting them ready for this race.
So now you had Kyle had the Sylvester and Tweety. You had the Looney Tunes, basically. So you had, like, Porky Pig and Samity Sam and all them on the car, right?
I had Speedy Gonzalez, it was this week.
Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, yeah. Andre, Riva. There you go. Well, to segue into that, man, what's it going to take to continue that momentum, obviously, to try to make a run to the championship?
Probably qualify better, since that's usually what I'm off with it. In iRacing and everything I do. I'm always bad at qualifying. And it usually hurts me more times than it helps.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you, sponsors. We'll see you next week at California.
Yep, thanks, Tire Pros. Yeah. Right, it's nice and easy to make some logos for throwbacks with them. iRock, and always have some good looking cars.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Scott Rickard. He is the man that was into the points lead. And of course, it's I would say consistency. He'll probably still hold on to it, even though McCoy got the win. It's going to be a battle all the way down to the end here tonight. He'll finish 2nd in the throwback scheme 200. All right, let's go to the 3rd place man, and it is Dylan Grimm. Dylan, I think this is the first time we've ever talked to you, bud. You're taking this race and being on the podium, finishing 3rd.
Yeah, I believe this is my first time up here in the booth with y'all. It was a fun race. I really couldn't control my tires very well that entire race, but I was still able to keep it on the podium.
Well, you had a fantastic night here. You finished good. It's always good. We talked about it, finishing on the season on good notes, getting good finishes to move into the next season. So, that kind of a 2-part question. One of them's more not serious, but how does it feel to know you get a good finish, carry that momentum into the last couple of races? And 2, which one of us is more fun to talk to, me or Wesley? I'm sure it's me, but I'm not biased or anything. But no, the serious question is the first one. Does it give you that momentum boost going into the last couple of races?
Me, Dylan, me.
I mean, it's tough to pick. I'll go with both. I'll be the good parent here. Y'all are great up here.
Stepbrothers.
But yeah, this is a great finish. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here for the first half of the season, so just trying to get the best finish as I can. Hopefully a win soon. That'd be sweet. But yeah, this is a great finish for myself, and hopefully more to come.
Man, what do you take from obviously missing the first part of the season and running these races to prepare for the next season? Are you going to try to make a run towards a championship, or are you still just kind of getting seat time?
Yeah, next season I definitely plan on being full-time. So yeah, hopefully I can get to the championship playoffs. That'd be sweet.
There you go.
Maybe a win. I haven't won in a really long time. The trucks are next season. We're racing the trucks, so that should be pretty fun.
Sponsors.
I gotta thank my spotter, my papa, spotted me every season of this league. You guys in the booth, y'all do a great job. Everyone who puts on this league, Nate, Derek, I love racing in this league. It's been going on for years now, and it's a lot of fun, and that's about it.
There you go. DoorDash on the number 23 machine, obviously, of also Dylan Grimm.
Yes, sir.
And he will finish in the number 3 spot. All right, that's going to wrap up the Throwback Scheme 200 at North Wilkesboro. Charles, your final take of everything, bud. We'll see you next week for the California Dreamin' 220, down to the final 3 races for the season.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a good one. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes, and we're good. We made it again before any storms hit.
We certainly did. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everybody at the Stars and Stripes Racing League, of course, Rocket Media, Jeff Stabnow, Charles Witten, producer, director, and color analyst, this is Wesley Outland, thanking you and yours for joining us, and congratulations to, of course, Kyle McCoy. Win number 5 of the year. McCoy, Rickard, the race is on to the championship of the Stars and Stripes Racing League playoffs, round 3, next week at Auto Club. Good night.